In my 17 or so years of activism, largely in the grassroots social movement sphere, combined with ongoing education and systems science, particularly aware of where the limits are in the spectrum of traditional activism, this project is what I have concluded is the best chance for long-term advancement, not relying on appeals to power, but building. So I'm going to walk through the opening summation of this paper, explaining as I go. The following presents a comprehensive theoretical and technical blueprint for a federated, post-monetary cooperative economy that replaces market-based exchange, profit-driven production, and hierarchical governance with a cybernetically coordinated, commons-oriented system of labor reciprocity and decentralized design. Okay, federated. This simply means joined together with autonomy maintained in each node. Post-monetary. Of course, this is a connection point to the existing system, which is important because this is a transitional system, not just an imposed final stage construct, even though obviously a fully realized non-monetary stage is embedded within. And cooperative, of course, is self-evident, but still radical, as it should be understood as an active function, not just some kind of intangible value structure. Just as competition is a regulatory mechanism in the market today, as is cooperation in integral. As touched upon in a prior episode, the transitional nature of this isn't just technical but cultural, something that's rarely addressed in the post-scarcity community. Without the needed value change away from competitive sensibilities, which takes time, it's hard to expect this type of thing to expand. Economic transformation must include cultural transformation at the same time. This is explicit in the way things get done in this idea, and competition has no technical place whatsoever. It's not rewarded, there's no incentive, but that doesn't mean competition can't still interfere in other ways psychologically as a reverberation of the market system. But I think the more people engage the new system, the more it erodes that old primitive conditioning. In the same way, early hunter-gatherer societies used to reject people's behavior that implied dominance, such as a feeling of superiority or some kind of competitive win. You can read about this work in the writings of Christopher Boehm and Marshall Salins, David Graeber as well, realizing our variability long before, in fact, the creation of markets. And it proves that we are not inherently competitive by nature once again. These early societies had regulatory processes in their culture, if you will, termed reverse dominance hierarchy, to shut down people who leaned into such immature, elitist, and destabilizing views. But in the case of integral, once again, regulation is not an issue of group expression, but rather exists in the codified structure that says the only way this idea will be successful is if everyone is collaborative and there's no other option for the system to organize. And if such conditioning is indeed successful, I think it will also contribute to the reduction of all sorts of other destructive competitive tendencies we see in the world today, as the sickness of competition is certainly not restricted only to the economic sphere, but it is indeed invigorated by it. I mean, you can't go 2 feet today without running into somebody with an incredible ego disorder out there, based on insecurity ultimately, acting competitive. Again, as I talked about with Alfie Kohn in the last podcast, it's like a public health disaster when it comes to people's competitive insecurity.